All right, we live. What's going on, family? I know it's been a minute, but we are here. Welcome to another show. We got a very good one for you guys today. A lot of information I'm going to give you guys about traveling and all that good stuff. We're also going to do a mobile app update. Give you guys an update on where we're at on the mobile app. I'll give you a sneak peek of the mobile app as well. I'm very proud of us accomplishing what we did on the Kickstarter campaign, as well as the development of the mobile app. So we're going to definitely get with that a little later on in the show. But what's going on, guys? See, everybody's in the building, coming on in. We got Lever in the building. Do your boy a favor, hit that like button. We're gonna get into the topic real quick here, too, fellas. We're gonna get into the topic real quick here today. I know it's pretty early on the East Coast right now. But we're going to get it jumping, man. We'll get this party started. Hope all is well with the family. We got 18 in the room. I know, fam, it's been a minute. I've been moving and shaking around. I'm no longer in Brazil. So, you know what? As a matter of fact, let's do it like this. Tell me where you think I'm at, guys. Now, if you guys know me personally, you're in the WhatsApp group, you probably already know where I'm at. But if not, do me a favor and hit the city, country where you think I'm at currently right now before we get to it. All right. Before we get into the gist of the show. Go with paper in the building. It says Brazil or die. That's what's up. Yes, I am no longer in the beautiful city of Rio de Janeiro. I'm no longer in the country of Brazil. I was in Brazil, guys, for about 7 months. I had a time of my life there. You know, a lot of people want me to make comparisons between Colombia and Brazil. I lived in Colombia for 11 months. I lived in Brazil for 7 months. So a lot of people asking me, the comparison, what I like the most. We're going to get into that too. But first, I want you guys to guess where I'm at currently. Am I back in the Matrix? Where I'm at, Am I back in Colombia? Let's see. Cameron Dow says, Pattaya, Thailand. Man, it's crypto the whole. What's up, worldwide? We got Charles Jones in the building. He said, you're probably back in Medellin, either that or in the DR. Charles Jones in the building. Mocha Choker says Atlanta, ATL. I'm back in the ATL. All right. Kirby Films #1 with the $10 super chat. He says, what up, BMT? What's going on, man? I know it's been a minute, man. I've missed the fam. What I wanted to do when I was leaving Brazil is I recognized that I had a lot of content that I had to put out. I wanted to put it out before I left Brazil. And I actually wanted to show you guys, because I know I did a lot of podcasts, a lot of shows, a lot of interviews. And for the most part, this channel is dedicated to more so podcasts and interviews and stuff like that. But I did do quite a bit of vlogs. I did about maybe 6-7 vlogs for you guys before I left Brazil, because I want to give you guys, just a open eye to different part of Brazil that you're not going to see too much on TV or YouTube. So hopefully you guys been checking the vlogs out. They've been getting pretty good numbers, especially the Rasta Beach, one of my favorite beaches in Brazil. Now, I am going to do more vlogs because I got so much content that I shot in Brazil, but I'm going to be putting that content on the other channel, Passport Bro Live channel. So you're still going to see content coming out of Brazil for the next few weeks, guys, on the other channel. So if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe to the backup channel, or the vlog channel rather, Passport Bros Live. Okay, let's see. What's up? Was waiting on this video. Dubai. The Delano Music says I'm in Dubai. I'm not Dubai. Cartagena for the win. Cartagena's in the house. Everybody saying Thailand. Okay, Colombia, Ecuador. Kyson J says you're in the ATL. All right, let's go. What up, homie? David said you in College Park on Old National. What's up, homie? Everybody saying the ATL. Everybody is saying the ATL. All right. Gabriel says Atlanta. David said North Korea. David, you might be close, but no, not North Korea. All right. All right. South Africa. No, not South Africa. Doha. You know what, Cameron? Hold on, Cameron. You might be following me on WhatsApp, bro. Hold on. Who is this? Cameron Dowers. Cameron know a little too much. He must follow me on Instagram or something. Okay. It's that time, says Colombia. It's that time, says Thailand. All right, guys. Okay, we got 100. We got 109 all in the room. That's what's up. That's what's up. All right, I'm going to do the big reveal right now, guys. I am currently in Thailand. Yes, that's right. I am in Thailand, Pattaya, in Thailand. All right, guys. I am in Thailand. I've been in Thailand for the last couple of weeks. All right. Let me put that up on the screen for the fam. All right. Yes, I'm in Thailand, man. I've been in Thailand for the last couple of weeks. And it was a little bit of a journey, let me tell you. I'm going to sum up the Brazil in a second. But let me tell you about the journey I had from Brazil to Thailand. All right. So, first and foremost, it is a little bit of a process coming to Thailand. You have to get what you call a Thailand pass, which makes things a little bit more like more of a streamlined process. So actually, it's a little bit of a headache, registering everything for the Thailand pass because it depends on the hotel. You still got to quarantine for a day if you are vaccinated. But they're about to get rid of that right now. They're saying that no PCR tests are needed. No 72-hour PCR tests are needed any longer. So when I came, I had to provide a 72-hour PCR test, and they really look at the hours. All right. I mean, from the airline to immigration, they're looking at paperwork all the time. Now, keep in mind the Thailand Pass is going to be on your phones, like a scan code, like a little barcode basically that they scan and all your information comes up. But I'm going to tell you right now, guys, if you do decide to come to Thailand, do the Thailand Pass, your best bet is going to be to print out as much paperwork as possible. I mean, the phone is good. A lot of guys use the phone. They're supposed to scan it, and all your stuff come up. Your registration, your hotel stay. I'm sorry. Your stop and go and all that good stuff. All your paperwork should be on that barcode. But I'm just telling you from experience and some of the experience of my friends, the more paperwork you print out and you provide, the better. And hold on to all your flights, your bookings, your tickets. They're going to ask for all of that. I got to the very end, right before I flew into Bangkok, and they asked me for my first ticket, which was to Doha from Brazil. I flew straight from Brazil to Doha, Qatar. All right. And I thought I had threw it away, but luckily I had it somewhere in my bag and I showed it to them. So hold on to all your paperwork because they looking. Trust me, they looking. Now, when you get to Thailand, they, at first it's kind of strange. You get there, and I should have uploaded the video for you guys so you can actually see it. It's a little bit of a process. You're going to see about 30 people with scrubs on, and of course mask on, and they're going to sit you down on this long hallway. And then all they're doing when you sit down is they're just glancing at your paperwork, making sure everything is in order before you go to immigration. All right. But once you get to immigration, it's pretty fast. It's actually faster here than when you go through America. Now Brazil is fast too. Don't get me wrong. Brazil is fast too. But so that's the process. Now, when you touch down, if you are vaccinated, you still have to quarantine for 24 hours in a certified stop and go hotel. Now, when you get to that hotel, it's different processes. Some of these hotels will drive you to a clinic where you take the PCR test, another PCR test rather. Some of them you can take the PCR test at the actual hotel. The hotel I went in, I got there and they had times to come downstairs and take the PCR test, which I did not know because nobody explained that to me. So, I went up there and I actually got lucky and caught the last testing session, just being curious of when I was going to take the PCR test, because you have to wait for the results to come back to leave your hotel room. All right. Now, they do provide you with meals. So basically, you're going to be sitting in the hotel room for 24 hours. It's a long flight, man. So you're probably going to be tired anyway. And then keep in mind, if you're flying into Bangkok to get to Pattaya, that's an hour and 30-minute drive. So I didn't personally feel like making that drive, coming in from a long flight anyway. I was totally cool with staying in that hotel for the first 24 hours. And they provided good meals as well. All right. Very nice people here in Thailand. Let me see some of the, let's see what we got going on in the comment section here. All right. People still asking me where I'm at. Yeah, we in Thailand. Shout out to Tony5563. Yeah, I'll be on Richie Mac's show soon. Said that's the life of Thailand. Nice. That's what's up. He said, guess you zoom to Thailand. That's right. Shout out to Brooklyn GQ on the Patreon. He says, I kind of figure from the Patreon vids. Yeah, guys, if you haven't stopped to the Patreon, I told the Patreon family a couple of days ago that I was here. A lot of good content on that Patreon. Check out the Patreon. The link is in the description, man. I give out a lot of good information on the Patreon, as well as give you guys, a bird's eye view of what's going on in the beautiful city of Brazil, as well as Thailand, Pattaya in particular, and Colombia. I do videos all over, so make sure you check out the Patreon when you get a chance, guys. He said, I knew that. Everybody's saying that. Everybody's saying that. Charles Jones said, yeah, it is. Yeah, we are 11 hours ahead of the East Coast. All right. All right. It's that time. That's a really good question, family. He asked, BMT, which cell phone carrier do you use on your travels? Colombia, Brazil, and Thailand. Now, personally, what I do is I get a SIM card. All right. That's what I do personally. But I know guys who use the Google Fi network and all that stuff. I haven't been in America in some time to, I guess, get the SIM card from Google. I think they mail it to you or something like that. So I haven't been able to register with the Google Fi. But I do believe, you can use Google Fi, guys. But, for me, I just touch down. I tap into the Wi-Fi. Most airports have Wi-Fi. I don't suggest when you get there to the airport, get on and get off. Get your Uber or whatnot. They don't have Uber out here. They actually have what they call Bolt, which is their version of Uber, basically. They have another one called Grab. Those are like the two Ubers here. But, get your transportation and get right off the airport Wi-Fi, because we know airport Wi-Fis, are pretty, dangerous. You don't want to be checking your bank account, on the airport Wi-Fi and thing that's, important to you. So that's what I do when I touch down. I just quickly tap into the Wi-Fi, get to where I'm going, use the hotel Wi-Fi, and then I'm to the store to get me a SIM card, like either that day or the very next day. And SIM cards are pretty easy to come by here. The cool thing about Thailand is there's not really a language barrier. Most people speak, what I think they call it Thai English or whatnot. So it's very easy to communicate. Give me a second, fellas. Hold on. All right. I'm going to get to that question in a second. Van Lee asked a really good question. Hold on. That wasn't Van Lee asked the question. Oh, David asked a good question. He asked, $1 million question, is Colombia or Brazil better? Man, I'm telling you, I've had hour-long debates with my guys who are pro-Brazil and my guys that are pro-Colombia, But we're going to get to that. Somebody said Tinglish. Yeah, they might call it Tinglish. I thought it was Thai English. BMT knocked up a few Johns in Brazil and running. Shout out to Van Lee. You know what, man? My whole initial plan was to live in Colombia for 6 months and live in Brazil for 6 months. And I, stayed a long time in Colombia because I was doing business in Colombia. But 6 months in Brazil or 7 months in Brazil. I just was ready for something a little different. I love Brazil, man. The crazy part about it is when I left Brazil and I came here, the first week or two, believe it or not, I was really missing Brazil. Brazil definitely has a way of capturing your spirit. The people there are so vibrant and so live. And, we was going out. I mean, you would go out in Brazil, bro, and you would literally just have plans to go eat breakfast with some friends, and you wouldn't get home until the next morning to 6 a.m. That's the Brazil that I know. You know what I'm saying? You're going to party, have a good time. You're not even going to be in your apartment, too much. Everybody's out. I mean, it's a really, vibrant and culture there. I mean, everybody's out. It's a beautiful culture. I missed it as soon as I got here. I'm not going to lie to you. Even when I was in the airport, I was like, do I really want to go? But, I felt like it was time to leave. Also, I had been living with a language barrier for like a year. I did pick up on a good amount of Spanish, but the Portuguese is a little bit of a more difficult language to pick up on. I was picking up on it. I got a Portuguese teacher and all that good stuff, but, to really unlock Brazil, a shout out to Dennis John Pierre, he speaks Portuguese really well. You really got to know the language, all right? That's going to really help you get in the windows. Now, I met tons of friends, tons of Brazilian friends out there in Brazil, man. They were just putting me on the different areas, different spots. I don't know if you guys might check out the favela video I did. Really good video. Shout out to my friend Hobson, man. He really welcomed me in to the Rosina Hosina and showed me around. Had a really good time. Spent all day with them. They cooked. We went out. We just had a good time, man. Like, it's nothing like the favela experience, in my opinion, in Brazil, because when you're in Copacabana, Ipanema, Leblon, it's like, everybody knows you're a tourist. Tourists is cool. They used to seeing tourists, but it's kind of like, oh, he's American. It's like a high and buy situation for the most part. You don't really get to connect. Nobody's really trying to, for the most part, ask you questions or anything like that. But when you go to favela, they're really interested in learning about you and your culture. And they're very, friendly, and they would tell you, explain to you all the rules and what's going on with them as well. So the favela experience is definitely dope. Now, when I was in Brazil, I spent the majority of my time in a district called Barra da Tijuca. And in my opinion, I suggest you guys, if you do plan on staying in Brazil for longer than 3 weeks to a month, if you plan on staying out there for a couple of months, that's the place I suggest. A lot of guys like it out there. If you need an apartment, you can hit me up on my email, blackmentravels@gmail. We will be listing some apartments on the website and the mobile app very soon. Me and Cardell are getting that together as we speak. But Barra da Tijuca is definitely the place, in my opinion, most guys would want to be. The reason I say that, man, is because the apartments are more up to date. The apartments, like I said this before, in dozens of videos, you already guys know that the apartments, to me, for the price that you're going to be paying, $800 to $1,000 a month in the Copacabana, Ipanema, Leblon area, are a little bit dated. So Barra da Tijuca, it's a little far out, but everything you need, beach and all, is in Barra da Tijuca. All right. So not long only that is cheaper as well. It's a couple $100 cheaper you will pay a month living out there in Barra da Tijuca. So that's my suggestion. I got plenty of videos on Barra da Tijuca. They got the malls. The cool thing about Barra da Tijuca as well, if you don't speak a lot of Portuguese, guys, believe it or not, so they got schools in Barra da Tijuca, and it's kind of like the middle class out there of Rio. A lot of people speak English. All right, you go to the mall, you will find Brazilians that speak English, and that's going to be extremely helpful if you plan on staying out there. And it's easier to date out there as well. All right, let me see what we got going on in the comment section. BMT the boss, what up, Omar Ali? What's going on with you, my friend? I'm pro Southside Chicago. That's what's up. Okay, shout out to Chicago. Yeah, believe it or not, man, because a lot of guys, I'm going to be honest with you. Fam. We got 212 in the building. That's what's up. Hit that like button for your boy. I'm going to be honest with you guys, man. I can see myself living in Colombia more so than Brazil. All right, personally. As much as I love the beach, as much as I love Brazil and the beach culture, Brazil has a lot going on, and the carnival showed me that. All right, the carnival was wild. All right, the carnival was off the chain. I only had to experience that maybe once. I'm not really one for large crowds anyway, but the carnival was definitely an experience, man. It's a very wild atmosphere, the carnival. I believe I'm gonna put some content about the carnival as well, or a pre-carnival, or the Blocko parties rather. All right, I believe they have another carnival out there soon this month. Yeah, I answered that. He's that Corinthian White. Corinthian White. What your name? The chapter of the Bible. Okay. He said, where I stay in Brazil, Rio, Barra da Tijuca. When I'm coming to the motherland, I'm going to be in the motherland this year, bro. Charles Jones, he says, yeah, I've been to Rosina too. Had the best food on my trip in that favela. The John C says the fantasy illusion wore off. You know what? I didn't really have a fantasy. I had already been in Brazil before, so I didn't really have a fantasy illusion. If I had a fantasy illusion, that would have been in Sasua a couple of years ago. That was a fantasy. Bring her back to USA. No, I'm not bringing nobody back to USA. All right, shout out to the classy young man. He says, Baja de Tijuca is amazing. Yes, it is. He says, I want your renter. Yeah, like I said, I suggest if you guys stand there. Now, if you're just there for a couple of weeks, 10 days, something like that, the Copacabana is cool. But it's definitely a different vibe in Baja, man. And they got all the clubs are already out there. So if you in Copacabana, you want to go to the clubs, you're going to be going to Baja de Tijuca anyway, because All In is out there. Lalu Lounge is out there. A couple of other spots are out there. You know what I'm saying? I just put it to you that way. A couple other spots are out there. Everything you got going on in Copacabana, you got going on in Baja de Tijuca, basically. It's just a little bit more laid back. It's not as much foot traffic out there because, you definitely are going to move around a little bit different out there. Now, you can walk to a lot of places. Where I stayed at, and I put down the Patron family, it was a really cool building where you could walk to the beach and you could walk to the mall. So it was a pretty good location out there in Baja de Tijuca. All right. Charles Jones said, yeah, I felt that too when I was in Rio. When I was in Copa, it felt like a major city vibe like New York City. It does. You're absolutely right, Charles Jones. It does feel like New York City. When I was in Rosina, I had more of a southern U.S., authentic Brazilian vibe. Exactly, man. Exactly. And, it's especially when you hanging with somebody that's, really, popular or known in the favela. It just feels like you in a movie almost. You're walking around with them. Everybody's like, telling the guy what's up. He's introducing you to everybody. It's surreal, man, and it's safe for the most part. And they was asking me, they was like, man, why you want to live all the way in Baja de Tijuca? Just get an apartment here. I help you get an apartment here. And I thought about it, but I was like, you know what? The favela has so much going on. It's like a city within a city. And, me being from the South, me being from Atlanta, us Atlanta dudes are kind of like what we like to call hood bougie. We like more space. You know what I'm saying? I was more comfortable personally in Baja de Tijuca. All right. And then, like I said, for the most part, everybody comes out there anyway to party. So it's all, you basically in I would say the South Beach of Miami before it was the South Beach of Miami. That makes any sense. Because Baja de Tijuca is a new formed area for the most part. All right. It's a new area. That's why the prices are pretty decent. And you can get a very nice apartment in Baja de Tijuca from the actual realtor for about $600-700 a month. And it's going to be newer. Versus if you're in Copacabana, Ipanema, it's like you're living in the 50s, 60s, or 70s. And you'll be paying $800 to $1,000 a month. And like Charles Jones said or commented, excuse me, you feel like you in New York City with a beach. Everybody's kind of moving real fast. I watched a video earlier today about a guy being robbed. I think he was a Swiss guy that got robbed on the beach in Ipanema. And I did a video on the Passport Bro Live about Ipanema Beach. Ipanema Beach is actually one of the more dangerous beaches out there in Rio. And I used to go to Ipanema Beach all the time, but you can tell that, and they have police everywhere. That's how you know. If you want to gauge how safe a beach is, just count how many police are out there. If there's a lot of police out there, just be careful because they will still try you. And we saw shootouts on the beach in Ipanema. We saw guys get their stuff taken, but women get their purses snatched, guys chasing down, and the guys get hit in the head. So we saw a lot of stuff going on that beach. So if you are out there in Rio, just keep in mind that Ipanema Beach is a cool beach, but that's probably one of the more dangerous beaches. And Copacabana can be dangerous as well, especially at night. But Baja de Tijuca is pretty much a safe beach. The safest beach in Brazil is going to be San Conrado Beach. Now, I'm going to do a video about this. I'm going to put it up on the other channel. The 5 best beaches in Brazil for you guys. So you guys can check it out, type of, beach vibe that you want. Now, the reason San Conrado Beach is so safe is because all the rules in the favela apply to that particular beach. All right. Meaning there's no robbing, no stealing. That's the only beach I went to where people will leave their valuables out their seats, never go swimming, and there wouldn't be any issues. All right. So that's another good tip for you guys as far as safety and concerns of the beaches, because I know it seems super safe out there, but it can go down real quickly, and the cat that's going to probably get you is going to be about this big. It's going to be about like a 10, 12-year-old, 9-year-old kid to snatch your stuff and run. And then somebody's going to be waiting on his path, running away, to, hit you in the back of the head or trip you up or something like that. And he's going to take off straight back to the favela. He said, what scams or finesse got you during your Brazil stay? Van Lee, the only situation I had was when I got left by the Uber driver one night and my phone was dead. And I had to walk from, where was I walking from? Was it Ipanema back to Copacabana or LeBlanc? It was somewhere. I had to walk, but luckily I knew where the ocean was. I was a little inebriated, basically, guys. And I walked toward the ocean. So I caught the boardwalk. And if you catch the boardwalk anywhere between Lima and I think LeBlanc or something like that, you can just pretty much just go left and you'll start walking back to Copacabana. So the only situation I had there was I walked, and I shared this story on the Black Men Travels Facebook group. Shout out to the Black Men Travels private Facebook group, by the way. I was walking. You know how you're walking so far and you zone out? And keep in mind, it's like 3 o'clock in the morning. You're walking so far, you're zoned out, you're walking, and I actually passed where I was supposed to turn into the interior on that, what's that road called? Avenue Nosa Sotra or something like that. I was supposed to make a left, but I passed it and I started walking, and I walked right into like the tranny little area. And as I turned around, they tried to, one was a regular girl, two was tranny. They tried to hold pickpocket, grab on you, dance on you type stuff. But I was able to get on up out of there. So that's the only situation I really had. I didn't really go through too many scams in Brazil like that because I was in Barra da Tijuca most of the time. So yeah, that's the only situation I had. All right. Well, you know what, Charles Jones? That right there. He said, I'd rather practice my Portuguese than have them speak English. One of the lines, I'm just be straight up with you. One of the lines that you can approach Brazilian women is language exchange. All right. The whole teach me Portuguese, I teach you English, because a lot of women learn English and they speak pretty good English, but they want to be able to practice it with an American, all right, more than anybody, right? They want to practice it with an American. So especially in Barra da Tijuca, right? So you can practice your Portuguese with them, but they definitely want to know all the slang. They want to know everything about America as well. So that's a good innuendo to having a conversation with Brazil. All right. Carlos Montalova says, where can you get a COVID test for return to U.S. from Rio? I believe almost any pharmacy. I actually call, and I can give you that number if you email me at blackmantravels@gmail.com if you need it. You can email me, and I can give you the guy that actually comes to your place, and he'll test you right there in your apartment. All right. Main Man T says, I'm a bit late to the party. Why did you leave, bro? Okay, so the thing about Brazil, and I actually didn't cover this earlier. The visa, they just did a digital nomad visa. They did switch up to that while I was down there. I couldn't apply for that. I believe you only need to provide them with, I believe it's $800 US a month or something, or $18,000 saved up to apply for it. I believe it's some other stuff, but the visa process, the student visas and all that, it's a little bit of a process. Brazil has some red tape, you know what I'm saying, as far as, doing what I would want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like in Colombia, it's pretty easy to get a student visa. It's different visas you can get. You can get a rentista visa in Colombia, and it's other little ways you can stay in Brazil for longer. But I decided to go ahead and just leave because I knew I was wanting to be back this year. Now, keep in mind, when you do overstay, there's a fine, and there's a max fine if you overstay for quite some time. I think my fine was $250. My fine in Colombia was $130. And I stayed in Colombia for 11 months. I stayed in Brazil for 7 months. All right. Shout out to Lucius. What's good, man? Who's fan of your page? God bless. Another reason I left Brazil, guys, is because I'm gonna be honest with you. The electronic game, I think it's better in Sao Paulo, but the electronic game, as far as cameras and computers, even the phones, is like highly suspect. It's no really name brands out there. You think you're buying good quality, then it breaks on you. Shabbily made electronics. That was one of the reasons the internet was an issue, man. I don't care where you at in Rio, the internet is always like here in Thailand, 5G everywhere. I'm pretty sure it's no drops. If you guys are watching my streams in Brazil, there was times I didn't have no internet for weeks at a time, or it was just really slow. The internet was always an issue. No matter, I stayed in over 6-7 apartments in my stay, and for the most part, the majority of them had issues with the internet. All right. The only thing about Thailand that I'm learning now is the rolling blackouts. But I've only experienced that. I've been here a couple of weeks. I only experienced that one time. Everything else is cool. The electronic game is on par with the West as far as electronics to computers. They got all malls full of electronics, man. It's like you're a kid in the candy store if you're an electronic guy like myself. Phones, computers, all that. So that's another reason I wanted to come out here to Thailand to kind of step my electronic game up. All right. We got a couple of super chats in the building. Let me get this by Osama Abdul. Brother BMT, what's your hourly fee for consulting? Do me a favor. Asuma, hit me up on the email, blackmentravels@gmail, and I answer your question, brother. We can, chop it up. All right. Let's go down to, okay, what else super chat said? Let me see if I can find you guys. Shout out to QB Passport flexing with I guess that's the Mexican peso. He says, keep grinding. That's what's up, QB Willie B. I believe that's QB Willie B. Yeah, that's QB Willie B. All right. Why did you choose Thailand for your destination? Well, I had a couple of friends out here that was giving me information, feeding me a lot of information. I was asking them a ton of questions because it was between going back to Colombia and then going to Thailand. So those were my choices of where I was going to go. And I was about to go back to Colombia. But let me tell you a little quick story about what kind of stopped me from going to Colombia. I was looking for an apartment. I was calling all my old landlords, right? And I called one of them, and he was like, oh, I got the same apartment that you was in available. And I was like, do I really want to go back to the same apartment? I was like, I don't know if, I want something a little different. Then I called my other landlord, previous landlord. She had the same apartment that I was living in previously. And I was just like, I felt like I was not necessarily going backwards, but I wanted to, my whole plan was to, I wanted to explore the world and give you guys information from countries all over the world. I wanted to just keep it moving. And I feel like going back to Colombia, and I will be going back to Colombia this year, but I kind of felt like, you know what, let me do something different. I got friends out there in Thailand. They're telling me it's really dope. It's very reasonable. I'm going to do a whole video in comparison about Colombia, cost of living versus Brazil versus Thailand versus DR. I'm going to do all those videos. I'm going to tell you right now that Thailand is extremely reasonable as far as cost of living. The apartments are very up to date. They're very nice, very clean, very new. I love my apartment building. It took me, I moved in a couple of units within this apartment building. And the last one, I was like, okay, this is the permanent one I'm going to keep. So that's the reason I decided to go ahead and come on out here to Thailand instead of going back to Colombia. So let me see if we got another super chat here. Let me catch this right quick. Give me a second, family. Catch this water. All right. Mocha Choka says, shout out to you for the $5 super chat. He says, I'm planning to move to Colombia and Brazil for the close to 6 months as a digital nomad. Realistically, per month, how much per month comfortably? Now, that's all up to you, man, because you can live in Colombia and Brazil for less than $2,000 a month. But it's all about entertainment. How much do you party? Are you going to be, you planning on dating women out there? Women still want to go out. You're going to have people probably coming in that want to see you. You're gonna get with other expats. It's Colombia and Brazil. You're going out, so it depends on your budget. How you want to stretch your budget. You can live in Colombia and Brazil. I know a guy that lives in Brazil for $1,200 a month. All right. I know a guy in Colombia that lives in Colombia for, I think he said he makes like $1,300 a month. So it's possible, bro. I suggest, me personally, I would say anywhere between $3,500 to $4,000 a month, and you will be comfortable. That way you can go out a few times a week. You ain't got to worry about, budgeting too much. The cool thing about overseas, man, is it's the same as in America, but this is the caveat. If you get a 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom apartment in most major cities, you're going to be paying anywhere from $1,200 to $2,500 a month, right? That's pretty clear. You can find a nice apartment in Brazil, especially outside the tourist area, for $500-$600 a month. All right. You can shop in certain grocery stores, spend about $200 a month on food. That's going to be most of your major costs. Now in Thailand, I decided to get a bike. So I got a scooter here in Thailand, so I can get around a little bit more. That save me a little bit of money. But it's not that expensive to get around as well. You know what I'm saying? So it's just cheaper to live. So you don't need hundreds of thousands of dollars to live comfortably overseas in the majority of most countries, unless you in Japan or UK or something. Yeah, that's where you got to, work and grind, and the majority of your income is going to your bills. If you make a decent amount of income overseas, the majority of your income, I mean, you guys would be shocked how much I pay for my 1-bedroom apartment. And it's cheaper units in here. I pay a little extra because it's a sea view. But, it's very reasonable in this building. This is a very nice building. It has 2 pools, a sauna, a store. It's a very nice building, man. All right, let me shout out to John 2003 for the $2 super chat. Will you compare Asia to Latin America in a video? Yes, I will. That's coming up. I'm gonna do all the comparison videos this week, guys. I'm gonna do all the comparison videos. I might section off. That's a good idea to section off, Latin America against Asia. That might be a good idea. Appreciate that, John 2003. Let's see. He says, nothing wrong with visiting the U.S. All right. Let me catch some of these comments. Something different. All right. Shout out to Vibes. He says, I'm glad to choose Thailand. Viewers need to see something different. Everyone is going to DR, Brazil, and Colombia. That's very true. Okay. Let me tell you guys this. The flight from Brazil to Thailand was not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Maybe because I had prepared for it. It's all, of course, overnight flights. I flew Qatar Airlines from Sao Paulo to Doha, Qatar, and then from Doha, Qatar, down to Bangkok. All right. Now I think it was 13 hours and then 7 hours. Of course, they had movies on the flight. They fed us well. If you're a guy around, I would say 5'10" or better, I would suggest getting either exit row or maybe going business class because the seats, you don't have that much room. I was lucky enough to always get an exit row. But, just be mindful of my tall guys. It's you don't want to be cramped for that amount of time. You do not want to be cramped for that amount of time. So try to get an extra row. Luckily, the flight wasn't crowded. It might have been about 90%. So there was, there were seats available. I actually got into it with a guy because on the first flight, I tried to let my seat all the way back. And the guy behind me caught it. He was like, hey, you shook the chair. And, it made me feel a certain way. But I'm like, oh, yeah, you're right, bro. My bad. I can't lean all the way back. So on the flip side of that, I'm going from Doha to Bangkok, and it's this guy in front of me, and he tries to take his seat all the way back. And I'm like, bro, you can't let your seat all the way back. You're literally in my chest. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting at the top of your head, bro. You can't do it. And he's like, well, can you move? Why don't you just move? I'm like, bro, I'm not moving. It's like, well, come on. So just keep that in mind, to avoid any issues, guys. If you over 5'10", just get an extra row or try to get, a seat where you got a little bit more leg room because it is a long flight, but it's not as bad. And I talked to some of my other friends. They said the same thing. Not that bad. You fall asleep. You watch a few movies. I watched the whole Batman, the Christopher Nolan Batman series, 1, 2, and 3. Fell asleep. Watched a little bit of the Fresh Prince, and then I was there basically. All right. Shout out to Jay Everything. He says, living your best life, stay blessed, OG. Appreciate that, Jay Everything. Let me see if I'm answering some of you guys' questions. Hold on. Let me make sure I covered all your super chats. I think I missed a few of them, guys. Hold on. Okay, I think I got all the super chats now. Let me see. There are no mandates in Rio right now, bro. They were doing the mask everywhere, but there are no more masks. Rio is wide open. Rio is wide open, trust me. And they would tell you too. They're like, no, take your mask off. Take it off. Like, even if you walk in a restaurant with your mask on because you're so used to doing it, Brazilians, they just like, no, take that shit off, man. Take it off. We free now, basically. Man, I'm telling you, man, it was hard leaving Brazil, man, because it's funny. The same thing happened when I was in Colombia, guys. When you're about to leave, like as soon as you buy your ticket, that's when everything starts flowing. I meet the woman with all the apartments. I meet Hobson. He's showing me around Brazil. And like I tell guys, until you befriend like the locals, you're not really, I don't care how long you're there, you're not really experiencing the country. Unless you do two things. You learn the language or you start hanging out and become friends with some of the locals. That's when everything else, you're going to be around other tourists. That's not really experiencing the country. You're going to the same places, going to Copacabana Beach, Nabs and all that. That's not really Rio. That's the version of Rio they show the tourists. But there's a whole other world in Brazil, man. And Brazil is a very large country, by the way. It's a lot going on. All right. Shout out to Joseph Townsend with the $20 super chat. I really appreciate that, brother. He says, I always miss the lives, but catch the replays. Just wanted to show love. Shout out to all the passport bros, BMT. That's what's up. That's what's up. Shout out to Dan219. He says, as a Costa Rican myself, Costa Rica costs more than other countries, and the transportation is bad. The cool thing about Thailand, man, it is so easy to get around. Like I said, I rented a scooter, to get around because there's a little bit of traffic out here, but you got little buses. I said, you don't call them buses, but you got the little, the little buses. It's just so easy to get around. You got a boat, you got Grab app, so it's relatively easy to get around. It's pretty inexpensive. We're talking about rides as low as $1, $2. All right. Shout out to Cap Bruh Corn. That's a hell of a name. He said, me and my boy P and Ralphie chopped it up. I remember you, bro. As soon as you said Ralphie, chopped it up with you on the beach in Ipanema. Was we in Ipanema? Yeah, we were in Ipanema. Carlos asked, do you need to get tested to get into Rio? I'm not sure. He said, just hang out at the resorts all the time. I don't know if Rio has a big resort culture like that, bro. I'm not sure if Rio has a big resort culture like that. All right. We got 277 in the room. That's what's up. Do me a favor, hit that like button for the fam. Let's see what we got going on here. Yeah, man, we are in Thailand. All right. So that pretty much sums up why I left Brazil, man. I just wanted to see something different, see something new. It was very difficult for me to leave Brazil, believe it or not. But, I just want to keep exploring the world. I want to go other places where guys, typically don't go. And while I'm on this side of the world, I will be giving you guys content of different countries, possibly the Philippines, Africa, and such going forward. All right. Now, let me see what we got. Let's talk about the BMT mobile app update. Family, it's looking good. It is looking good. Now, we did come up short of our initial crowdfunding campaign. We were trying to raise $25,000. We raised about $6,500. So we wasn't able to hire the developer we wanted, but we were able still to find a developer that would give us some key components of the mobile app. So we're not going to have some of the features starting out, but what we really wanted to do was move some of our guys from the Facebook group that's been restricted, all right, to the mobile app. So right now, I'm gonna show you guys a quick screenshot of where we're at. We're testing 2 versions of the app, and we're trying to see which one we're gonna go with first. All right, the initial app. All right, so let me show you guys. Okay, I'm gonna get back. Let me cover the app, and I'm gonna get back to your question because, guys, I did forget to tell you about the Thai girls. We're gonna get the Thai girls towards the end, but let me cover this with you as far as the app is concerned. All right, so let me show you a screenshot. This is just a quick screenshot of the app. All right, hope you guys can see that. Okay, so we got about 30 guys, testing out the beta version of this version of the app. We're going to test this out for about 30 days. You'll get some reviews, and then we're going to test out another version for the next 30 days. All right. So the app should be released around June. We're anticipating the app to be released around June. Guys, I can't even scroll through the app because guys are posting all types of crazy content already. It's only about 30 guys in there, and they all going back and forth. Everybody saying how much they love the app. Like I said, we got 2 versions that we're testing out right now. Now, I know you guys who all contribute to the campaign, you will be getting the email soon. All right. If not this week, the top of next week, with a discount code for BMT merch, Black Men Travels t-shirts merch. And also, you get a code telling you when you will be able to test the beta version of the app. All right. So we got about 100, and I believe it was 136 guys that donated on the Indiegogo campaign, and we had about 50 guys that donated on the Cash App. So you guys will get the first version that we approve of the app. All right, guys. So get excited. We're gonna have our own independent platform. I'm very proud of this. Me and Carly have been working hard to get you guys this app. All right. Yeah, so that's just a little clip. Like I said, I can't scan too much from it. As you can see, you got the members here. You got the feature here. If I was to scroll a little bit down, you'll see the feed and everything like that, guys. So get excited. The app is coming soon. It's going to be not all the features that we wanted to have, all right? But it's going to be something where we can build our community independent without any overshadow from Facebook or anything like that. So get excited, all right? Yes, sir. Big moves, BMT. Yes, sir. Yes, we are still accepting donations through the Cash App, Charles Jones, at BMT 2040. And I believe you made a donation already, man. So I appreciate that. And I appreciate all you guys that believe in us as far as the app that we are building, that we've been working on. All right. So now let's get to it. We've been here for about an hour, 45 minutes. As far as the Thai women, somebody asked me about Thai women. All right. This is a very different world in comparison to Brazil, Colombia, or DR. As far as dating the women here, I would say they really value a man's company more so than Brazil and DR to a certain degree. Here, you have to really be clear about what you want from the games that we play in America and even in the Dominican Republic. Sometimes they're not going for it out here. It's not a dating culture. We come from this dating culture where we date her for a couple of months, she date us for a couple of months, and we on to the next, right? Here it's just like, hey, I love you. I want to be your girlfriend. I want to be your wife. Can we get married? I mean, you will literally be on Tinder and they'll be like, oh, okay, you single, no kids. When can we get married? And they'll be serious. Out of all my friends that been, and I got 4 friends that are here. All right. None of them have been here for more than 3 months. They all have girlfriends already. So that just kind of gives you a little bit of, as far as the dating culture here in Thailand. Now, I will say this. Thai women are very choosy. They're very picky. A friend of mine said he thought it was about 50%. You got Thai women that, only date the white guys. You got Thai girls only date the black guys. You know what I'm saying? Here, you got majority white guys. If they're dating outside of, the Thai men, they're going to be dating, white guys. A lot of the white guys from the UK. But a lot of the white guys are older. You know what I'm saying? A lot of retirees out here with Thai wives. Then you got the I want to say Middle Eastern guys. I don't want to say Arab. I don't know if that's derogatory, but the Indian guys, they're out here as well. Then you got, a few of us, not a lot of black guys out here, but the guys out here is like, you might run into another black dude and you be like, "What's up, bro?" And he just be like, why you talking to me? And some of those guys might be from, maybe not American, black American, basically. So you do have that. It's been a few guys that, because it's not a lot of us out here. So you're like, "Yeah, what's up, bro?" And they might just give you the ice grill. Just like some of the white guys would do. But for the most part, it's pretty mixed out here. Everybody's vibing. Everything's cool. It's very laid back out here. The crazy part, the Thai women that do mess with black dudes will let you know. All right. They will literally scream. I've never been nowhere in the world where you'd be on this side of the street and you walking with your boy, you going somewhere, and a Thai woman be like, chocolate man, come here. I'm talking about, you be like, what? But yeah, so the ones that really like black guys, really like black guys. All right. Real talk. Richie Mack is in the building. He says, "You're in Thailand." What up, Richie Mack? I know Richie Mack's still mad at me, man. What up, Richie? We gotta get up real soon, bro. I've been hitting you up. We're gonna chop it up. Sin Lifestyle. Hold on. He says, "I'm a US designer. How can I reach out to see if I can assist you with the app development?" Hey, hit me up at blackmentravels@gmail. All right, Sin Lifestyle. Hit me up at blackmentravels@gmail and send me some of your designs. We can chop it up, man. We're still in the development stage, even though we're still, we do have 2 beta versions that we're working on. Go ahead and send your designs. Yeah, they commit fast over here. Everything Richie Mack is saying for a beta, he can tell you way better than I can tell you because he's been out here longer. It's very true about the dating culture here in Thailand. Men are valued very highly here, even more so than South America to a certain degree. The men are very valued. It's a very respectful culture here, man. Very safe too. I rode my bike to the 7-Eleven. Everybody knows 7-Eleven is like where you shop here, you get all your stuff in 7-Eleven. And me and my boy, I ride my bike there, and I left my keys in my bike, in my scooter. All right. And I'm in the store. We come out of the store, it's like maybe 12 Thai guys just sitting outside. They're blocking our bikes. And then I'll be honest with you, in Colombia, my scooter would have been gone. Like, it's not even a question. It would have been gone. In Brazil, 50% chance of my scooter being gone. Thailand, they didn't even pitch into my bike. They just let us out and we was on our way. All right. So Thailand is very safe. Very nice culture here, man. Oh, it's all good. It's all good, Richie Mack. It's all good. He says, "I'm about to go live on Richie Mack's channel. Had I known you were going live, I would have waited and come on your channel. Salute." That's what's up. Yeah, guys, when y'all leave here, go over to Richie Mack's channel. He has another channel. I believe it's called Richie Mack. Check out his live stream as well. All right. He says, "Sup, this is true. I am Brazilian, and here we greet each other talking. EIE. All right. All right. Eric asked a good question. He says, "Do you recommend Colombia, Brazil, or Thailand for a first-time traveler?" I recommend Colombia because there are a lot of Americans, especially Medellin or Cartagena, that you kind of plug into. It's going to make your trip a whole lot easier meeting, other Americans or other expats or Westerners rather. It's like a big camaraderie, of Americans and Westerners in Colombia. So I recommend Colombia. Brazil, not so much. You have to go to certain spots to run into other Americans. Rather in Medellin, if you're in Poblado, you're definitely going to run into other Americans. That's going to make your trip a whole lot big difference in your trip. He said, "Go hard for time hit up." Okay. He said, "Hey, if you could hit up Thailand, like I say, if you're comfortable with that." As a matter of fact, my neighbor, shout out to him. It was his birthday yesterday. My neighbor, he's from, I believe, DC, and his first trip out the country was Thailand. I said, "Man, you started at the top. You started at the top. You took a trip." Shout out to the Prodigy. Jaws 2003. I'm not sure about the land ownership here. I do believe you can own a business here 100% straight up, and in some countries you cannot own a business 100%. You have to have a co-owner that's a local, basically. And I believe that's the truth in Brazil as well, if I'm not mistaken. All right. So yeah, man, shout out to Jay Clyde in the building. He's one of the guys testing out the beta version of the app. So yeah, guys, just a quick update. I'll be going live again. You'll see more lives. We're gonna go back into our regular, regular uploads. We're doing lives and interviews. I'm uploading another interview later on this week out there in Brazil. All my Brazil vlogs will be on the Passport Bro live channel, guys. You can definitely check that out as well. I have a lot of content I'm still uploading. That's what I was kind of waiting on. Kind of, get all the Brazil vlogs, out the way so you guys can kind of get a good bird's eye view of Brazil. My experiences in Brazil, man. Brazil, I'm telling you, man, it's one of the best countries in the world. It was really, really hard for me to leave. And when I first got to Thailand, you can ask my friends, I was instantly missing Brazil, because at least in Pattaya, it's not like a big beach culture. And I'm asking everybody, like, when we're going to the beach? It's like, don't nobody go to the beach here. I'm like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's hard for me to believe. Because in Brazil, if you live there, you would definitely get addicted to going to the beach. Like, everybody all day long, sun up to sundown, we on the beach all day. You know what I'm saying? So Brazil, it was definitely an experience that I loved it. But I'm going to say for me, guys, this is just me, my opinion. Like I say, it's 50-50. I know guys that love or swear down by Brazil. Me personally, I do feel like I'm more of a Colombian guy as far as to live. Various reasons. I would say one of them are the women. You know what I'm saying? Colombian women are dope. Venezuelan women are dope. Afro Latinos are dope. All right. So that's one of the main reasons. I gotta be honest with you. Will be Colombia for me per se. Now Brazilian women are cool. It's just that Brazilian women are, they definitely do what they want to do. I'll put it to you that way. It's definitely a dating culture there. For me, somebody that wants more genuine relationships, I would pick Colombia personally. All right. Shout out to Timothy Paris. He says, I'm headed out to Thailand in September, October. In terms of female beauty, Thailand hold up against Colombia. Let me say that again. Timothy Paris asks, in terms of female beauty, does Thailand hold up against Colombia? Guys, I'm in a building, right? My apartment building is full of women for the most part. It's full of foreigners and women, much like my apartment building in Brazil, all right? Thai women are very pretty, but if it depends on the body type that you like, all right? You got some Thai women that are shaped very nice. I see some got a little backside to them, but I'm gonna be honest with you, man, and I haven't been to Africa yet, so just exclude Africa from what I'm saying. I don't think any country in the world is messing with Colombia or Brazil per se, as far as the look that most guys want, because it's that exotic look. Brazil, you got the wavy, silky hair with the toned bodies. In Colombia, you got the most prettiest angelic faces that you'll ever see. In Dominican Republic, you got the face game, and the thick bodies that some guys like. So it really depends on what your body type is. The Thai women, from what I can tell, and I've seen a whole bunch of Thai women thus far, they're slim, they're petite for the most part. They're really pretty, man. They're very pretty. And they come in all shades too. You got some Thai women that's like brown skinned. Those are the ones that have a little more junk in their trunk. You got the Thai women that are kind of whitish too. So, they're pretty, man. They're very pretty. And on top of that, keep in mind that you do have African women out here as well, and you got Russian women out here. So, when things really open up in Thailand, which I think everybody's saying around June, you'll get a lot of Russian women. You'll get a lot of African women here as well, and American women. A lot of women from the UK. That's a big, tourist. It's like one of the most visited tourist cities in the world is here, out here in Thailand. Shout out to K Drizzy. Shout out to K Drizzy. We got 300 in the building. Hit that like button for your boy. He said you was once Team DR fans. You know what? I was. I was going to DR a whole lot. Everybody knows me, know that I used to be in DR every 2-3 months. Every couple of months I'll be in DR. So yeah, that's very true. You've been following me for some time now. You sent the email? Cool. All right, Eric the first says, I'm going to Colombia. I am going to go with Colombia for the first trip. How to maximize staying for a week? How to maximize staying for a week? Get with somebody that's familiar with Colombia. You got the Connection Colombia guys. You got the I believe Passport Dog does tours as well. That's going to be your best bet, man. Is connected with somebody, or maybe going with a friend that's a veteran out there who knows how to move. That's very important in Colombia. I will say this about Colombia. Out of all the cities I've been to thus far, Colombia by far is the most dangerous. I'm just going to keep it a buck 50 with you guys. You got to be very careful. Thailand, relatively safe. Still got to pay attention to your surroundings. I've been out already 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning out here. I was bored one night, walked around 4 o'clock in the morning because your sleep is going to be jacked up for the first month because you've been sleeping on a different time frame. So you got to try to force yourself to go to sleep, but you're going to be wide awake. And I still have difficulty sleeping. All right. So I was walking around 3, 4 in the morning, no problems. Brazil, same thing. We out 5, 6, 7 in the morning, no issues. Colombia, if you out 5, 6 in the morning, you better watch yourself. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna be honest with you. And it can go down anywhere in Colombia. There is no such thing as a nice, safe neighborhood, at least in Medellin, because they will rob your ass anywhere. All right. Shout out to Jay Divine. He said, damn, it's probably the crispiest camera I ever seen you use. BMT price going up. Or maybe it was the bad Wi-Fi overseas. Yeah, that's what it was, Jay. I'm using the same camera, man. I got the 5G. So be clear. As a matter of fact, man, it's actually we got this. I got a SeaWorld apartment that you guys can probably see more so in the daytime. But that's the ocean right there behind me. That's the ocean right there. All right. So somebody did ask me about Songkran. Okay, they're doing the religious part of it, the water part of it, the water guns and the paint throwing. They're not doing that this year. They're not doing that this year. Laura says, to me, Thailand safer than the U.S. Good point. Dark Wizard says, Brazil is very big, and each region is in a culture, and each culture has a different woman. Example, in southern Brazil, we have Germany, Russia colony, and Italy, Italian colony. Very true. Shout out to Dennis Jean Pierre, man. Dennis Jean Pierre been putting in the work. If you're not subscribed to his page or his channel, make sure to subscribe to Dennis Jean Pierre because he's been all over Brazil and he speaks Portuguese. So make sure you, I just want to shout him out. If you want to learn more about Brazil, you can check out his channel, Dennis Jean Pierre. Watch out for Tony Montana. In Thailand, Drizzy, I don't know what you're talking about, bro. All right. That's a good question. He says, what's good, BMT? Colombia still restricted to enter for non-vaccinated people. I am not sure, bro. But I will find out for you. You know what? I do believe in the next few months, guys, they're going to be opening up everything, bro. Like the pandemic is slowing down. From what I can tell, I believe Thailand's going to open up fully by the summertime. And I know Brazil's pretty much already open. I'm sure Colombia is going to be not too far behind. What's the name of those tours? Again, okay, you got Connect to Colombia. All right, Connect to Colombia. You can find them on Instagram and Facebook. Shout out to those guys. You have Passport Dog. I'm not sure you can connect with him. He has a YouTube channel. I know he does tours in Colombia as well. All right. K says, good to see you go live, BMT. Shout out to K Hawthorne. Shout out to you, bro. Yeah. Well, what I wanted to do was, first of all, when I first got here, I had no internet for the first 2 weeks. I had a internet in Airbnb, but when I got my other apartment, it took some weeks to get me my internet. Luckily, I got the internet for the first time 5G yesterday. All right. Colombia is cheaper than Brazil. That's true. I can say Colombia is cheaper than Brazil. I can say that. But you know what, man? I found an apartment in Brazil, $650 a month, that was on its own little island. Your front lawn was basically a big old lake, and it was $650 a month. The only reason I didn't get that apartment was because it was one of those split apartments where like a loft style, and I couldn't stand up in the bedroom fully. And I didn't want to be out one night, had too many beers, and I stand up, and I hit my head or something like that. So I neglected to get that apartment. But you can find some very reasonable apartments in Brazil as well. All right. Now, I will say this, man. The food out here in Thailand is bar none amazing, bro. These Thai women can cook. Hey, American women better watch out. they can cook out here. I have not been to the Philippines yet. He says, hey, I'm a back-end software engineer. If you need any help, I'm down to help. Lord Hokesh, hit me up on blackmentravels@gmail.com. All right, let me answer this question, man. We're going to go ahead and sum it on up. Eric says, I didn't think of Colombia as dangerous. It's mostly just stuff going down late at night or people being held at gunpoint in broad daylight. People are being held at gunpoint at broad daylight in Medellin, bro. Like, I had no issues when I was there, but I recognized that some of these guys were sizing me up. I never wore a jury. I didn't even wear my, a lot of guys saw my smartwatch. I've had this watch for a long time, but as you can see, I never really wore it until I got to Brazil. You know what I'm saying? So Colombia, you just got to move a certain way. You got to move within a circle. The more the merrier in Colombia. That's why when we in Colombia, we go out 7, 10 deep. I know guys that have been living in Colombia for decades that had any issues. I know guys that go to Colombia the first night they get drugged. After I warn them, sit them down and tell them, hey, the energy is off tonight. Don't take none of these girls from the park. They take girls from the park and they get drugged. And I've had this happen so many times, bro. I mean, and some of these guys are travel vets and they still get got. Just so there's a pre-warning. Shout out to Grego. He's helped me test the beta version of the app. Shout out to the Last Street Promo Podcast. I think that's my boy Malcolm. Is that you, Malcolm? He said, just brought my first crib in Colombia, bro. Wish me luck. I'm about to come on near the beach in Cartagena. Man, congratulations, bro. Congratulations, man. I know you loving that. All right. So this is Grego, 712. He's one of the guys testing the app. He says, app looking good, sir. So letting you guys know it's on the way. It's on the way. You're going to be surprised when you get it. He said, you will probably find only traffic dangers in Thailand. That's true. So that is my boy Malcolm. Shout out to Malcolm, man. Congratulations on getting your apartment in Cartagena, man. Come on out here when you get a chance, bro. Come on to Thailand. Shout out to Wanderer Nirvana. Shout out to you. He says, I got jumped. They took my phone my first night in Cartagena. After that, no problem. Yeah. Shout out to Wanderer Nirvana. We had ran into each other in Lapa. Yeah, Lapa. And we walked around all night in Lapa, recording. All right. Shout out to Bert Ross. Shout out to you. Said, good afternoon, bro. Good afternoon to you. Well, it's nighttime here. I ran to you in Baja de Juca. Shout out to you. Delano Music. I'm going to send you a link, bro. I'm going to send you a link. You can be one of the beta testers, bro. GC says, skipping Colombia. You just got to move a certain way. You definitely got to move a certain way. And I'm being honest with you, man. Like, I'm not one of those guys that are going to sugarcoat anything in concerns of trying to bring you to a certain country because I have business there or have connects there and I'm getting a referral. I'm not going to do that, and I'm going to let you know exactly what it is. This is the thing about Colombia. All right, Colombia has the most beautiful women in the world. Colombia has the most cooperative women in the world. They get a little crazy, they go off on you, that Latin romance culture, but you will have a team of beautiful women at your disposal in Colombia. I don't care if you're 5, 6, 7, 8, high value, whatever, blue collar, doesn't matter. You will have your team of women. On the flip side of that is you can get robbed, you can get drugged. So that's the balance. They cooperate more in Colombia than they even do so more in Brazil. Brazil, the women, boy, you'll go out with a beautiful Brazilian woman, bro. Take her out to eat, have a great time. You'll lay down with her, and you won't hear from her no more. You know what I'm saying? That's how Brazil. That's the get down in Brazil. They do what they want to do. You might hear from her a couple of weeks later, but then you'll find another Brazilian woman, and go through that. Versus Colombia, if you sleep with a girl, more likely you got a girlfriend. All right, so that's some of the differences in Colombia and Brazil. So it's really the vibe that you want. If you're a guy that wants to hook up with random, beautiful, exotic women, that might not do as much for you, Brazil. If you're a guy that wants maybe a long-term relationship, you want more of a traditional relationship with a woman, you don't mind supporting a woman, Colombia. There you go. All right. See, it's all about perspective because I know women in Medellin that told me Cali was not safe. I had a friend of mine, shout out to my girl Nia. She used to be like, yo, she's from Cali. And she'd be like, I asked her, I said, if I go to Cali, Colombia, will I get robbed? And she was like, yeah, more likely you will. So it's all about perspective. For the most part, if you're not flashy, got your head on the swivel, like I said, I know I got sized up at least off the top of my head. And you can ask my man Ja King, because we stayed in the same building, and he's a veteran, he's an ex-military guy, and he saw it too. Size you up, come on the bike, look at you, what he got. I don't see nothing. Take off. It's just that quick in Colombia. If you got something like this in your hand, they hear that American English coming out your mouth, they're taking this. They're gonna assume you have an iPhone. Now, for me, when I was in Colombia, I had like a little. I kept my iPhone in the crib for the most of the time. I had a little Android on me, so it didn't look like a flashy phone or anything like that. But like I said, definitely want to move a certain way in Colombia. All right, guys. All right, 325 in the room, guys. Shout out to Richie Mack. I believe he's going live now. You might want to go over to his channel. He's gonna tell you more about Thailand per se. We back on schedule. Expect more lives this week. All right, get excited, man. The app is coming soon. All right, shout out to the family. Peace.